these pesky avalanches just causing trouble. So we're gonna have to go for a plan B on this one. There's a lot of mountains out here. One should be doable. Just like right now is the worst time for going up them because the snow is so wet. It's painful, but boredom just keeps forcing me to go out and do stuff. I feel like I've gone back in time a month coming up this road. It is cold, and it feels like it's going to be at least another month until this road is fully accessible. But this is wood stove territory. I don't have any wood, and my chainsaw is broken. A couple weeks ago, I pinched the chain, and I tried to yank it out, and I broke the tensioner mechanism, so I'm waiting for a new one to come in the mail. But the reason I came out here was for blockhead. I tried to do it last year from the other side. It was a 3-day trip. It was unsuccessful. I think it would work from that side, but maybe it's just a day trip from this side, so it was worth a look. But since the road is blocked, maybe I can try for Mount Earl Grey instead. If the weather's good, it just seems like it's nonstop rain lately, so it was kind of a gamble coming out here. Please be a trail up there. Just keep my eyes open for some flagging tape or a cairn. Make life a lot easier. No luck on a trail cut for this one. The bushwhacking looks reasonable. Let's see where this takes us. Yeah, it was not such a bad bushwhack. We're almost through it. We're just both soaking wet. At least the sky is clear. The sun should dry us out. Well, I had much higher hopes of this valley. Things have gotten worse. It's just a mess of alders and deadfall. I've been deceived. Maybe I should have tried to go around from the other side, take the Earl Grey trail, get it from there. Might have been more pleasant. Well, that was lucky you got caught up in a tree, or else I would have been redoing this entire part of the climb. At least there's no crevasses here to lose it in. This is one of those mountains where it's a series of bumps along a ridgeline. It's hard to tell which is the actual high point, but I'm on the GPS waypoint of the summit, so I'm going to consider it bagged. It's not at all how I pictured it. I thought this was going to be a pyramid-shaped mountain where you could go up and down any side you wanted, so I'm not going to be able to make a loop out of this. I'll just have to retrace my steps. I picked a different way down. I'm trying to stay higher up above that valley. Just pointing myself right at the van. So far, much better, except for the snow. This way is incredible, so much better. So if you're looking at my Strava for route information, just ignore my up track, unless you want to put yourself through an unnecessary amount of suffering. All right, Rocco, dinner. We need to make dinner. All right, I'm really tired, but I need to make dinner. I got a couple packets of ground bison and then the seasoning packet that I picked up in the States. These are pretty good. I've never looked to see if they're sold in Canada as well. Then some other things that I'm going to mix in with my fajitas. I'll cook this first with the onion. I'm so tired I forgot to hit record on the camera when I started preparing all this. You get the idea. Pretty easy. This is ridiculous to have to prepare a meal after a big hike. I gotta get back to the slow cooking. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Do it like that. So, we'll air fry that 10 minutes, see what happens. Yeah, look at that. Turned out good. I just toasted up nice. It's all sealed up. Never done that before. Yeah, it turned out really good. It's a quick and healthy meal that you can whip up when you're feeling really tired. Last night it really started pouring. I got worried there's going to be a washout or a landslide or another avalanche and be stranded out there. So I moved my van closer into town. I think if I had a Starlink, it'd be a better line of communication than what the Garmin InReach can do. And also I'd have better access to weather forecasts. Yesterday the Garmin told me it was going to be a write-off. Meanwhile, it's perfect conditions up there in the mountains. But I don't think I'm going to get a Starlink. I just value being disconnected too much. And I like it when my phone says no service. And I know myself too well. If I have access to the internet anywhere, anytime, I'll just be wasting time and using it for useless stuff. And the reason I go out to places like that is to explore around, and there's a bunch of trails that need maintenance and upkeep, especially that Earl Grey Trail, which is basically a bushwhack at this point. That used to be a big through hike that went all the way through to Argenta. There's all these cable crossings over rivers. I bet you it was amazing back when it was open. I think the BC park system goes by entries there in the logbook, and when I see not many people are using it, it just stops receiving the resources, so it becomes an individual effort. But I can see if you're like way up north in BC or Yukon where there's 1,000-kilometer stretches of road with no cell service, how Starlink would come into play. But around here I have no trouble staying connected. I think I've got 50 gigabytes of data on my phone, and that's more than I need. But Starlink is also a new technology. Maybe 5 years from now all you'll need is a phone to connect onto it, but wouldn't that be disgusting just to be always connected like that? Alright, it's time to get the Rocco cam set up. It'd be really interesting to see her point of view. I think she's better equipped for bushwhacking than what I am. The way she weaves through everything so efficiently, and her balance is incredible for going across these skinny little logs, and also she floats on top of snow and I'm sinking up to my waist. It's 100% likely you can just go on Amazon and buy something that's already made, but I'll try to rig something up with stuff that I've already got. So I've got her harness, and a GoPro mount, and some webbing, so I'll try to sew that on like that. I might have to put a screw through the middle so that it's more sturdy. It's going to be up kind of high. She likes going underneath logs, so it's going to get snagged on stuff. I'll just have to be selective of when I use it. It'd be also interesting to put a GPS tracker on here to compare her distance at the end of the day versus mine. I'm sure she goes a lot further. She's just going all over the place, but then again, I have to carry her up all the difficult parts, so yeah. That's as tight as the straps will adjust. Let's see what happens. Come on. The footage looked alright when she's moving along slowly, but other than that, it was just way too shaky to use. And this is a GoPro 10 with the maximum stabilization turned on. Maybe if this fabric was stiffer, it'd be a sturdier platform to work with. But part of the problem is that she's just such a small dog. This is an extra small harness. I've got the straps cranked as tight as they'll go, and there's still some play in it. If she was a big dog with broad shoulders, then I'd have a big platform to work with, and the camera wouldn't be such a counterweight on her. But I'll play around with it in the next episode. I'll see if I can come up with anything. I had a lot of video troubles in this one. First, I nearly lost my phone down the mountain. Then I didn't realize the microphone was all clogged up with snow. And when I took off the drone on the summit, I didn't see that the camera lens was all fogged up. So the first 5 minutes of footage was just blurry and unusable. So you got to have respect for these people going out in the extreme cold and snow and coming out with a quality product when your fingers are freezing and your electronics don't want to work. It's just pretty amazing what people come out with. But anyways, I think that's the end of this episode. So thanks for watching, and thank you to Patreon supporters, and I will see you in the next one.